guys, what's up? Today we're looking at the rares within the new Duel Links generation next. So without further ado, we'll start the video with Great Desert. This is a dark spellcaster level 6 with 1900 attack and 2300 defense. And its effect is, when this monster destroys the following number of monsters as a result of battle, the following effects are activated in order. 1. As long as this card remains face up on the field, negate the activation and effects of all spell and track cards that target this card and destroy them. 2. You can special summon one Lucius Riki from your hand or your deck by attributing this card during your main phase. First effect will protect this card until it is able to go into the second effect. As for the second effect, the ability to summon a different card is good, but with Duel Links only permitting a main phase 1, you'll have to wait until your next turn before you use it. The next card is Lucius Riki. This is a dark zombie level 7 with 2600 attack and 2900 defense, and its effect is, this card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card can only be special summoned from your hand or your deck by attributing one Great Desert that has fulfilled the condition. You can flip this card into face down defense position once per turn during a main phase. As long as this card remains face up on the field, negate the activation and effects of all spell and track cards that target this card and destroy them. When this card is flipped face up, you can special summon one zombie type monster from your graveyard. This card works well with the zombies that already exist within the game, and also since it can protect itself from targeting outside of an opponent summoning a Blue Eyes White Dragon, there isn't much they can really do. The next card is King's Knight. This is a light warrior level 4 with 1600 attack and 1400 defense, and its effect is, when this card is normal summoned while you control a Queen's Knight, you can special summon one Jack's Knight from your deck. This is the card that I mentioned earlier that will help you bring out the fusion monster. It helps to gather one of the pieces for the fusion. The biggest problem, however, is that these are old cards. They do not have the same synergy as cards such as the Hunter archetype, which were Thunder type monsters, which enabled searching and summoning of their own monsters. It has a decent stat line, but could still have difficulty without being protected by back row support. The next card is Medusa Worm. This is an Earth Rock level 2 with 500 attack and 600 defense. And its effect is, once per turn, you can flip this card into face down defense position. When this card is flipped summoned, destroy one monster on your opponent's side of the field. This can be useful, however the problem is, since it has weak stats, it won't last long unless you can negate attacks for a turn, such as through a negate attack or face down protection cards. The next card is W-Wing Catapult. And the reason you should pay particular attention to some of these cards that are coming out of Duel Links is just yesterday there was an announcement of a brand new V to Z Dragon Catapult Cannon. It was the armed version, which is an upgrade. Sometimes you get little hints through Duel Links, such as, since we've been receiving a lot of these types of support, this is pretty much their way of, trolling us and saying, well, we gave you the information, here you go. You'll see the card later, I'll mention it in a video upcoming, but it is a fantastic card, but the problem is it's a very difficult card to summon. Anyway, back to this card, it's W-Wing Catapult. This is a light machine union, level 4 with 1300 attack and 1500 defense. And its effect is, once per turn, you can equip this card to a V Tiger Jet you control, or unequip it to special summon this card in face attack position. When equipped to a monster, by this card's effect, the equipped monster gains 400 attack and defense. A monster can only be equipped with one union monster at a time. If the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle, destroy this card instead. This is one of the 2 V to Z cards that were yet to be released in the game. An obvious choice to introduce, considering the others were released back in Electric Overload. This is one of the cards necessary to make VW Tiger Jet, and then to make a VWXYZ Dragon Catapult Cannon, which may be introduced in a pack after this. The next card is Dark Lucius level 8. This is an Earth Fiend level 8 monster with 2800 attack and 900 defense, and its effect is, if this card was special summoned by the effect of Dark Lucius level 6, your opponent's monsters that this card destroys by battle are removed from play, and their effects are negated. This card is good, as it is one of the only cards in the game to remove from play, and since it negates cards such as Mystic Tomato, this prevents them from searching or summoning. The next card is Gogo the Gallant Ninja. This is a Wind Warrior level 4 with 1500 attack and 1000 defense, and its effect is, when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent must discard 2 random cards. Your opponent must have at least 5 cards in their hand for you to activate and to resolve this effect. This card can only be useful if somehow you can bring this out during your first turn, or if you can manipulate your opponent to draw enough cards to use this card's effect. Otherwise, it cannot be used and is very situational. The next card is Worm Apocalypse. This is a light reptile level 1 with 300 attack and 200 defense, and its effect is, it's a flip effect. Target one spell or trap card on the field, destroy that target. This could be good for its effect, but you risk running such weak defense that piercing damage could result in a game loss. Next card is Worm Carthoris. This is a light reptile level 4 with 1200 attack and 500 defense, and its effect is, it's a flip effect. Add 1 level 4 or lower reptile type worm monster from your deck to your hand. This is a searcher for the archetype. Until you get more support, there is no point in running this card in particular. The next card is Machine King I can't find the details for it at the moment. I don't know whether it was a Japanese exclusive, but from what I can remember, it was an Earth Machine type with 1600 attack and 1100 defense, and was a level 4. Its effect allowed it to attack every monster once each. This is good to counter monsters that summon others, such as from Mystic Tomato, to eliminate any new monsters that are summoned through their effects. The next card is Worm Jet Eclipse. This is a light reptile level 3 with 1200 attack and 0 defense, and its effect is, its flip effect. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, this turn special summon it from the graveyard in face-up defense position. This is good to help tribute summon for a level 5 or level 6 monster. The next card is Naturia Beetle. This is an Earth Insect level 4 with 400 attack and 1800 defense, and its effect is, switch the original attack and defense of this card each time a spell card is activated. This can be beneficial, as provided you calculate it well. This can be an offensive monster, making it a 1800 attack, which is decent. The problem with this is, if your opponent activates a spell card to switch its stats, and this is in defense mode, then they can overrun by lower attacking monsters. The next card is Worm Lynx. This is a light reptile level 2 with 300 attack and 1000 defense, and it's a flip effect that says, during each end phase, if this card is face up, draw 1 card. This won't be useful considering it won't last that long to use this effect, short of a Pun Princess deck to reduce their attacks below this level, or if you plan on continuing using a Mirror Wall. The next card is Spawn Alligator. This is a water reptile level 5 with 2200 attack and 1000 defense, and its effect is, during the end phase of the turn, this card was tribute summoned. By tributing a reptile monster, target 1 monster that was used for the tribute summon of this card, special summon it from the graveyard. This card has a good effect, as you can get back the monster you used, so you aren't losing any of your resources, and there aren't any downsides to this card. The next card is Rhinotaurus. This is a Fire Beast Warrior level 4 with 1800 attack and 600 defense, and its effect is, if 2 or more of your opponent's monsters are destroyed by battle with your monsters during the same battle phase, this card can make a second attack during that battle phase. This can be useful if your opponent has multiple monsters on the field, and typically if you can make a successful attack, the chances are they won't have any back row that will directly affect this monster. The next card is Tribeshocking Virus. This is a Water Thunder level 4 with 1700 attack and 1000 defense, and its effect is, once per turn, you can banish one monster from your hand, destroy all face-up monsters on the field with the same type as that monster. This is only useful if you are facing a near mirror match, a dragon versus dragon deck, with this splashed in as a tech card. Otherwise, it's not worth running. Outside of maybe its stat. The next card is Aqua Armor Ninja. This is a Water Warrior level 4 with 800 attack and 1600 defense, and its effect is, when your opponent's monster declares a direct attack, if you have another ninja monster in your graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard to target the attacking monster, negate that attack. This is useful in a ninja deck, as it can prevent you from being attacked by strong monsters for that turn, and help set up for your next turn. The next card is Master Ninja Ebisu. This is a Wind Warrior level 4 with 1200 attack and 1800 defense, and its effect is, once per turn, if you control a face-up ninja monster other than Master Ninja Ebisu, you can activate this effect, return a number of your opponent's spell or trap cards to the hand equal to the number of ninja monsters you control. Also, every face-up Gogo the Gallant Ninja you control can attack your opponent directly this turn. This can be good, as if you get an entire field of ninjas, you can turn all their back row to their hand and attack your opponent without fear of any sort of response. The next card is Abyss Warrior. This is a Water Aqua level 4 with 1800 attack and 1300 defense, and its effect is, once per turn, you can discard one water monster to the graveyard, then target one monster in either player's graveyard, return that target to either the top or bottom of the deck. The benefit of this card is you can send a monster back to the deck, meaning they cannot access it, in the same way they could do if it was in the graveyard. For example, Blue Eyes White Dragon could be revived by Dragon's Roar, but sending it back would no longer make it a target. The next card is Bacon Saver. This is a Dark Zombie level 2 with 700 attack and 600 defense, and its effect is, during either player's battle step, while an attack is occurring, you can banish this card from your graveyard, negate the attack. You can only use the effect of Bacon Saver once per duel. This is good, as it can prevent a stronger monster of yours being removed from the field for that particular attack. The next card is Shogi Knight. This is an Earth Beast Warrior with 800 attack and 400 defense, and its effect is, when this card is normal summoned, you can target one set card in your opponent's spell and trap card zone, reveal that target, then destroy it. If it is a trap card, otherwise return it to its original position. When you destroy a trap card by this effect, you can special summon one level 3 Earth monster from your hand in face-up defense position. This is useful for trap removal, and provided you play it well, you can get a decent level 3 in addition to inflict damage to your opponent. You have that Panda card that gains attack points for 500 attack for each of your opponent's monsters. That could potentially be quite useful. The next card is Samurai Skull. This is a Dark Zombie level 4 with 1700 attack and 0 defense. Its effect is, when this card is normal summoned, you can send one zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. If this face-up card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can special summon one level 4 or lower zombie monster from your deck, except Samurai Skull. This can be paired with Bacon Saver to set its effect for your next turn or set up other plays. It is unusual that they would put this in Duel Links, considering that it was released in Code of the Duelist only 7 weeks ago, making it one of the most recent updated cards to go into the game. The next card is Giga Gaga Giga. This is a Water Reptile level 5 with 2450 attack and 1500 defense, and is a vanilla monster. This is beneficial, as for a level 5 this is strong, and pair this with a Legendary Ocean, and you have yourself a 2650 attack monster without requiring a tribute summon. The next card is the Tiger Jet. This is a light machine level 4 with 1600 attack and 1800 defense, and is a vanilla monster. It is the last monster in the V to Z monster lineup, and is the only vanilla monster amongst them. This card is VW Tiger Catapult. This is a light machine level 6 with 2000 attack and 2100 defense, and it requires a V Tiger Jet and a W Wing Catapult, and its effect is this card can only be special summoned from your extra deck by removing from play the above cards you control. You do not use polymerization. You can discard one card from your hand to change the battle position of one monster your opponent controls. Flip effects are not activated at this time. This is the other fusion monster for the final fusion card and has decent stats. The ability to change battle modes means you can deal with different monsters easily, as they tend to have either a strong attack or defense. The next card is Worm Zero. This is a light reptile fusion level 10 with a question mark attack and 0 defense, and requires 2 or more reptile type worm monsters, and its effect is for each fusion material monster with a different name used to fusion summon this card, it gains 500 attack and also gains these effects. 2+, once per turn you can select one reptile type monster in your graveyard and special summon it in face down defense position. 4+, you can remove from play one reptile type monster from your graveyard to send one monster on the field to the graveyard. 6+, once per turn you can draw one card. This card can gain attack over 3000 if you send at least 6 monsters, and the variety of effects are useful as you can go from reviving monsters to having better field presence, to remove any unnecessary reptile monsters from play to get rid of stronger monsters on your opponent's field, and increase your hand advantage by drawing additional cards. The next card is Blustering Winds. This is a normal spell card that says target one face-up monster you control. It gains 1000 attack and defense until your next standby phase. This is useful in response to an opponent's in order to destroy an opponent's monster. The next card is Flash Fusion. This is a quick play spell card that says fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control as fusion materials. Destroy it during the end phase. The benefit of this card is if your opponent tries to attack you, activate this in response and you can prevent them from attacking for the rest of the turn. The only downside is that it gets destroyed at the end phase, meaning you will lose a lot of resources. You might have seen this in the anime, as I believe it was used a couple of times in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, but it went under another name called Instant Fusion. Next card is Ninjutsu Art Notebook. This is a continuous spell card that says once per turn you can send one ninja monster from your hand to the graveyard, set one Ninjutsu Art spell or trap card directly from your deck except Ninjutsu Art Notebook. This is a nice searcher, as there will be times where you will need the back row support more than the additional monsters, and means you can bring out better card effects to restrict your opponent until you can get game. This works very well with Aqua Armor Ninja, as considering its stats, it's an okay defensive monster, but you really just want it in the graveyard so you can prevent direct attacks. The next card is Half Counter. This is a normal trap card that says during damage calculation, if a monster you control is being attacked, target that monster you control. That target gains attack equal to half the original attack of the attacking monster until the end phase. This not only protects your monster, but if they decide to attack with their strongest monster, this will probably prevent them from attacking for the rest of the turn. The next card is Different Dimension Ground. This is a normal trap card that says this turn any monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead. This is useful if your opponent has effects that work when they get sent to the graveyard, such as Mystic Tomato, so it can be useful at specific times. The problem is, these times can be very limited and could be a waste of space in your deck. The next card is Burst Rebirth. This is a normal trap card that says pay 2000 life points, then target one monster in your graveyard and special summon that target in face down defense position. This is useful if you have a strong defense mode card such as Labyrinth Wall, or have a flip effect monster such as Hain. Okay, guys, so that's the list for the rares. I think I'm going to leave it there. Remember, I'll be making a video for the normal / commons shortly after this. Make sure to pay notice to that when that gets released. As always, I'd love to know which card you like out of this particular list, which don't you like. Leave your comments down below. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and as always, thank you for taking the time to watch this video.